Hello everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to find the determinant of 3 by 3 matrices. We have two methods. The first method, we're going to start with either the first row or the first column. Now you're going to place the plus sign, minus and plus sign right here. Alright, so you're going to start with the first element right here, A. You're going to cross out the intersection of the first row and first column. It's going to be this guy, right? And then you're going to end up with this matrix right here. It's going to be plus A times this one, right? Now, second one, you're going to start with B right here. So you cross out the second column and the first row, right? So you're going to end up with D, G, F, K, which is right here, right? And minus B, right? Right here. And the third one should be plus C right here times cross out this guy and this guy, you have this one left, it's right here, right? Or you can start with the first column, right? So you're going to place the plus sign right here, minus plus sign, right? So you do exactly the same thing. I'm going to start with plus A right here, cross out this one, going to end up with this one right here. And you do exactly the same thing on the top, right? Now, keep in mind, you can start with this column, you can start with this row, you can start with this column, right? Or you can start with this row, whatever, right? If you start with this one, you have plus, minus, plus. If you start with this row, plus, minus, plus. If you start with the middle one right here, it should be plus, minus, plus, something like that, right? So normally, you're going to pick the row or the column that has more zero because it helps you do the problem faster. So keep that in mind. Now, method number 2. I'm going to copy the first two columns right here, right? So, you're going to follow the instruction right here. Top left to bottom right should be the plus sign. So it could be this guy right here. A times E times K right here. B times F times G right here. C times D times H right here. Alright. Now, bottom left to top right should be subtraction. So we have subtraction side right here, right? G times E times C right here. H times F times A right here. And K times D times B right here. So I'm going to factor the negative side out. That's why I have the plus side right here, right? Now, take a look at the first example. Evaluate the determinant of each matrix using two methods. Now, for the first method, I'm going to pick the first row right here, right? Because I see 0 right here, right? So I'm going to place plus, minus, plus, right? So it's going to be plus 2 times determinant right here, right? You have 2, 1, 4, 2. Now, second one, minus 0, right? Determinant right here. 3, 1, 1, 2. Now the first one, plus negative 1, which is negative 1, right? 3, 2, 1, 4, right? Now we're going to simplify this one. 2 times 2, it could be 4. 4 minus 4, it could be 0, right? Times this one, it should be 0, right? Second one should be 0 too, right? Because anything multiplied by 0, it could be 0. The first one, negative 1 times 3 times 4, it could be 12, subtract 2, it could be 10. So the answer is negative 10, right? Now, second method, I'm going to copy the first two columns over here. Now, I'm going to start with top left to bottom right, right? So it could be 2 times 2 times 2, it could be 8, right? 0 times 1 times 1, it could be 0. Negative 1 times 3 times 4, it could be negative 12, right? Subtract. Bottom left to top right, so it could be right here. 1 times 2 times negative 1, it could be negative 2. 4 times 1 times 2, it could be plus 8. 2 times 3 times 0, it could be 0, right? Simplify this one, it could be negative 4 minus 6, it could be negative 10, right? This one, the same. Now question B. I look at the first column, I see this guy has 3 zeros. I'm gonna pick this one, right? Because it's faster. So I'm gonna place plus, minus, plus, right? So it's gonna be plus 0 times, cross out this one. It should be C, D, S, Y, right? Now second one, it should be right here, minus 0, cross out this one and cross out this one. Should be A, B, S, Y, left, right? The third one, plus 0, right? Cross out this guy, should be A, B, C, D, right? So the answer technically 0, right? I just follow the steps to help you understand, right? So if you see 3 0 right here, the answer absolutely 0, right? Now second method, I'm gonna copy the first two columns, right? Alright, so I'm gonna start with top left to bottom right, right? It's gonna be 0 times C times Y should be 0. A times D times 0 should be 0. B times 0 times S should be 0, right? Subtract. Bottom left to top right, 0 times C times B, 0. S times D times 0, plus 0. And Y times 0 times H, plus 0. The answer is still 0, right? Now, take a look at example number 2. What value of S makes determinant -4? I'm going to use the first method, right? Because I see this guy has 2 zeros, it's faster, right? So I'm going to put plus, minus, plus right here, right? So it should be -2 times, cross this one out, should be S1, 0, -1, right? Now second one, I have -0 times the 2 by 2 matrix, and plus 0 times 2 by 2 matrix is still 0, right? Plus 0 right here. And this guy must be equals -4 right here, right? So it should be -2. Now cross multiply this one. Should be -s, subtract 0, it will be -s, right? And this guy 0, 0 equals -4, right? So you have 2s equals -4, s equals -2. Now let's move on to example number 3. Find determinant of the matrix A. So I'm going to copy the first two columns, right? Now you're going to start from the top left to bottom right, right? 0 times 2 times 1, 0. 1 times 0 times 3, 0, right? 4 times -1 times 5 is going to be -20, right? Subtract. Start from the bottom left to top right. 3 times 2 times 4 is going to be 24. 5 times 0 times 0 it could be 0. And 1 times -1 times 1 should be -1, right? Simplify this one, it's going to be -20 minus 23. It's going to be -43, right? Now we can use the calculator to check our work, right? So you're going to print up the calculator, hit menu, number 7 right here, matrix, and number 3 right here. Now you're going to hit the button close to number 9 right here, and pick the 3 by 3 matrix. It's going to be this guy right here. 3 rows and 3 columns. Press OK. Now input the value and press enter. The answer is -43. Interchange the entries in 2 rows to create a new matrix B. Find determinant of the matrix B. So matrix B is, now I'm going to copy the first 2 columns. So determinant is from top left to bottom right. -1, right? 2 times 4 times 3, it should be plus 24, right? And this guy should be 0, right? Now, bottom left to top right. 3 times 1 times 0, 0. 5 times 4 times -1 should be -20, right? And 1 times 0 times 2, it should be 0, right? Now simplify this one, you get 43, right? How does determinant of B compare to determinant A? So, determinant B is negative determinant A, right? Make a general statement about that A and that B if B is obtained from A by interchanging two rows of A. If you interchange two rows of the matrix, the new matrix has determinant opposite to the original one, right? Now let's move on to example number 4. Find determinant of matrix B. Now observe that the elements in the first column of the matrix B is 0, right? So the answer must be 0. What is special about this matrix? The special thing about this matrix is the elements of the first columns are 0, right? Make a general statement about the determinant of the matrix of this type. The answer always 0, right? Now question B. I'm going to copy the first two columns, right? Now I'm going to start from the top left to bottom right. 1 times 1 times 7 is going to be 7. 8 times 0 times 1 is going to be 0. 7 times negative 3 is going to be negative 21 times 8. Negative 168, right? Subtract. Bottom left to top right. 1 times 1 times 7 is going to be 7. 8 times 0 times 1 is to be 0. And 7 times negative 3 times 8 it should be negative 168. The answer is 0, right? What is special about this matrix? Look at the first row and the third row right here. They are identical, right? Make a general statement about the determinant of the matrix of this type. So, any matrix that has two identical rows, the determinant of the matrix always 0, right? Now let's move on to example number 5. You're given 3 points in the coordinate plane. How can you use a determinant of a matrix to determine whether the points are collinear, which means they lie on the same line? Then use the determinant to determine whether each set of points lie on the same line. So, to answer this question, we need to say that if determinant of the matrix A equals 0, then the points are collinear. If determinant of the matrix A not equal to 0, then the points are not collinear. Create the matrix A. Negative 2, 1, and 5. Next one, negative 2, 4, and 12. Now the third column, you're gonna put 1, 1, 1, like this. To find the determinant of this matrix, I'm gonna copy the first two columns, right? So I'm gonna start with the top left to bottom right, right? Negative 2 times 4 times 1, it should be negative 8. Negative 2 times 1 times 5 should be negative 10. 1 times 1 times 12 should be plus 12. Subtract. Bottom left to top right. 5 times 4 times 1 should be 20. 12 times 1 times negative 2 should be negative 24. And the last one, 1 times 1 times negative 2 should be negative 2, right? So this one should be negative 6, subtract. This guy should be negative 6. The answer is 0, right? So you're going to say that this guy are collinear. Now, question B, you do exactly the same thing as question A. I'm going to leave this one for you to practice. The answer is determinant of A equals 7. It tells us that 3 points right here are not collinear, right? Now let's move on to the last one, determinant of block matrices. If you need to find determinant of the matrix A, B, B, A, where this guy and this guy is same, this guy, same, then it's going to be determinant of matrix A plus B times determinant of matrix A minus B, where A and B are square submatrices. Look at example number 6 right here. This one right here. A, right? This one right here, A, right? This guy right here, B. This guy right here, B, right? Now we're gonna apply the formula right here. So I have that of A plus B, right? So I have A is 3, 1, 1, 3, right? B is 1, 1, 1, 1, right? If I add this guy up, it's gonna be 3 plus 1 should be 4, 1 plus 1 should be 2, 1 plus 1 should be 2, and 3 plus 1 should be 4, right? Times that A minus B. So if you subtract, it turns out to be 3 subtract 1 should be 2. 1 subtract 1 should be 0. 1 subtract 1 should be 0, and it should be 2, right? Determinant of 2 by 2 matrix, you just cross multiply, right? 4 times 4 should be 16. Subtract 2 times 2 should be 4. Times 2 times 2 should be 4, subtract 0, right? So it should be 12 times 4 should be 48, right? And it's your time to stop. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember that if you failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in